Are you ready for the climb? Yeah! Let's ride. From the dusty halls in Texas, down to Mexico, to the high-flying rings in Ontario.
Oh, look at that.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Chasing a dream, keeping hunger inside.
That is fancy.
On the canvas for the love of the crowd.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Tell me when you're ready to go. Both our listeners are waiting. Jacob, you need that kind of light show for your shows at the Walleye Club.
Bring us in, Jason.
All right, here we are. Journey through the Indies. I'm Jason, co-host Matt right over there, and today a special guest, my good friend and promoter of Grapple Pro Wrestling in Buffalo, New York, Jacob. Jacob, thank you for coming on. We have a few listeners. Obviously, we're trying to grow, and people are going to be able to go back and watch some of this cool stuff, and it might be the thing that drags them in. So today I want to talk about a lot with Buffalo independent wrestling and pro wrestling in general out of Buffalo. Matt moved out of the Buffalo area, for those of you that don't know, many, many years ago. And now he has joined, for you, Jacob, that you don't know, he recently discovered independent wrestling down in Florida where he lives.
Rediscovered, I would say.
Rediscovered. Reached out to me, who I haven't spoken to him in 20 years, and said, hey, you're a wrestler. What are these guys doing? This is cool. I like this. What's going on? So we've been talking, and then we just decided he got all these fancy little graphics over there, and he had that light show that you need, Jacob. And here we are. So,
These are lights.
so Matt, what do you think? We got our local wrestling promoter from here in Buffalo. Now,
That's awesome.
you know how we talked last time that there were promoters out there who were professional, and then there were marks who have promotions.
Yep.
Jacob is a professional, not a mark with a promotion.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
that is why.
Glad to have you on, Jake. Yeah, glad to have you on, Jake. It's always exciting when we have guests. That means, it that makes the show grow because you bring your audience to us, and hopefully we bring an audience to you. And it's also less prep that I got to do, so it's really nice.
Less prep.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jake, how long have you been living in the Buffalo area?
All my life.
All your life.
Some years, yes.
What part are you from?
So I grew up in the South Towns, Orchard Park, West Seneca area. Currently live in the city and about to move out to Lancaster pretty soon. So I've been, kind of first ring suburb kind of guy.
What high school did you go to, Jake?
Orchard Park High School.
Orchard Park, yeah. Matt went to West Seneca. Was it West Seneca?
I actually went to West Seneca Christian, which was a Christian road which is a Christian school on Union Road in West Seneca. But I did attend ECC North, and if I would have stayed, so I lived in West Seneca for most of my life up until about 2001. Then I moved to New Mexico, Socorro, then Albuquerque. Got married and was down there, and then moved up to New Hampshire. We hated it. Moved back to Buffalo in 2010. Lived in West Seneca, and then moved to Florida in 2014. So we're now in Central Florida, the Space Coast specifically, the East Coast of Florida in this center.
And have discovered independent wrestling at almost its finest.
We have
down
a
there.
small independent league, and it ain't bad.
Yeah, Florida is a fantastic spot for wrestling. I know a lot of people actually move to the Florida area to get their foot into the big door, WWE, AEW, and whatnot. So Florida, Central Florida, Tampa, Orlando, Space Coast, fantastic area for up-and-coming independent wrestling.
For sure, and we've actually seen a few that found their way into the ALW, which is the one that we have here in the Space Coast, the Atomic Legacy Wrestling. We saw Matt Cardona before he got signed to the WWE. We've got Shotzi Blackheart. She frequently appears. Ryzen, if you've seen him. He did wrestle in the WWE, but not under contract. And also we have Jamie Stanley, who owns a school in Orlando, which I'd love to send my oldest kid to once we move to Orlando. But anyways, enough about that. How did you start your promotion? Like, when did you start it, and what prompted it?
Well, first I was a student under Blackjack, learning, bumping and feeding the old way. And I don't want to say the style is out of date, but there really wasn't anything for me to do. Now, mind you, I'm also 6'6", 300 pounds, and a lot of the people nowadays in the indies are a lot smaller and more agile. So I kind of went the way of the dinosaur. So I figured, hey, you know what? Instead of me taking up a spot, let's get on the other side of the curtain and let's have a place where these people can use and learn and just get the reps, because that's the one thing that I noticed following independent wrestling is it was hard to get in the door, and because of that people weren't getting better because it was harder to get matches. So what me and Jason decided is like, hey, let's start a school, let's try to get a promotion going, and we'll go from there. We'll have another place for people to wrestle. So I learned the good, the bad, the ugly, and I took everything I did, lumped it all together, and tried to be as successful as I can. And right now with Grapple Pro, under its various names, we've been running since before COVID. So I mean, almost 8, going on a decade now. So it's been fun. It's been a good time.
And there were some big shows in there too. Those you didn't promote just all small events. You promoted
I mean
an event that drew thousands.
The Victory One over
Tell us
at
about that.
Riverworks. Yeah, the Victory One show that we did, the Legends show. We do who was it? A couple years. Actually, it was my first wrestling show, some 30-some years ago. Dennis DiPaolo, Ilya DiPaolo's family, they put on a scholarship show. It was marketed with WCW. It was back at the Memorial Auditorium. That's where the
I was in the
hockey
locker
team
room.
plays. Yeah. So we kind of restarted it, and we wanted to do it again. So we had that was a great show over at Riverworks.
Awesome.
That was almost 10 years ago, I think.
It was a while, but I mean, we had Eric Bischoff. We were the first company to pull Eric Bischoff onto the Indies. It was me and that guy right there in the corner. First ever. Or is he on that side?
Yeah, that's
I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch. But either way, that guy was the first guy to pull Eric Bischoff into the independents. First one.
Pretty awesome.
That was fun. We had Eric Bischoff, Lanny Poffo. We had Shane Douglas. The Nasty Boys were there.
Shane Douglas stayed. He did like 4 or 5 shows with us. He didn't just do the one.
I liked him.
Oh no, yeah.
I always liked him.
Because we had that USA versus Canada feud going.
That was awesome.
Ethan Page was on that too.
That was the end of the Battle Royal. Was me and Ethan Page doing that gimmick on the side of the ring, punching each other and see who's going to fall off first. And then somehow I got screwed, and I think Ethan Page won.
It was a fun.
I don't know who was booking that mess, but man, I got screwed that night by Team Canada and Ethan Page. But I got my revenge a month later.
You did. So with all these indie shows, it's fun. Like I said, it's kind of hard to get into the door. There's a lot of wrestling schools now. A lot of people who's it's a very achievable dream to become a wrestler now. So we just needed a place where people can get the reps, get better, and move on up. We're not looking to be a major league promotion. We just want some place to help everybody and learn.
So you're kind of like a stepping stone.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at our past roster, our school, Grapplers Anonymous, we have Daniel Garcia as a graduate. He's currently now in AEW. We had the Butcher and the Blade. They come in and teach once in a while, too. Who else did we have? We had Kevin Blackwood, one of the top independent names before he took his little retirement. He was based out of our school as well. So there's a lot of talents, and we like to put them to work, teach them the business, and like I said, we want them to grow.
So what's the biggest? Go ahead.
Like down there in Florida, you have guys who are amazing professionals looking for work every night. If you had a promotion with Jacob's Mindset and you ran on like, a Friday or a Sunday or a Wednesday, you would get all those top names.
Oh, yeah.
Because they wouldn't have anything to do on a Wednesday night. And you'd have them. Florida would seem like the perfect place for something like that.
It really is. Yeah.
It is, but you know what? I don't think I would be successful in Florida, and I'll tell you why. Because as you know, being a former Buffalonian, the weather is everything. So I like to say the wrestling season starts in September and ends around May. Because in Buffalo, there's something going on every weekend. Graduation party, 5K. June through July, or June, July, August, there's something going on, and you actually see a dip in people coming to the show. Unless if it's really super big and you bring in things and whatnot, or have a really good storyline. But for us, it's really hard to keep that momentum going in the summertime. So I look forward to the cold weather. I look forward to the snow. People are kind of snowbound and they want to get out, so they come to the wrestling show. Now, living in Florida, I could imagine that. I wouldn't be able to imagine that because it's so sunny, just beautiful.
I think it would just be the summer months that people would kind of hide in the house.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the opposite.
You get an air-conditioned venue.
Well, people are looking for something to do.
Watch this guy wrestle. You hot outside? Come on in. I'll stand out there.
It's actually not terrible. Well, a lot of people will actually disagree with me on this one. I'm actually a lot more heat tolerant than most other people. But I don't think it's that bad. It's not that much of a variance in temperature between the summer and winter here. You're looking at 70s in the winter, 90 in the summer. It's only 20 degrees.
Love it.
I mean, my wife made me so I have 3 kids. Right now there's 17, 15, and 13, so we don't actually have our Disney passes. But when the kids were younger, we had passes to Disney World, and my wife loves the place. She made us go twice a month, and it's 95 degrees in the summertime, and those lines could be anywhere between to walk on to 3 hours long. So I got really used to standing out in 95 degree weather, waiting in lines in the direct sun. My blood must have thinned out or something because I can handle it just fine now.
I've been down. I don't mind Florida in August. Yeah. I mean, I'd stand in line for 3 hours. I'd have fainted.
Yeah, we went to a Metallica show in like August or something like that, and it was like
that's craziness
hot until the sun went down. But my point is, people will still go to stuff here, and we do have a lot of stuff going on. But the our local league, the ALW, does well because there's just nothing else to do in the Space Coast. We have we're pretty much a retirement city / engineering city. So if we have Harris, Lockheed Martin, NASA, Boeing, GE, all those places are headquartered down here. So there's tons of engineers like me. I'm an engineer, go figure. And if you're not an engineer, you're a retiree. So that's just how this area is. So people were just screaming for something to do. So the ALW does well. I mean, I get the sense that the owner or 2 owners, however many owners there are trying to do everything by themselves. So they take on too much. They don't do anything particularly well. I mean, they're okay. They're okay at marketing. They're okay at getting everything ready. Are they great? No. But, from what can you expect from people who work more than full time, in addition to putting on these kinds of shows when nobody else does it in the area? So, I give them a lot of credit for doing that. But they're just doing too much on their own as people.
When we drew big houses, we had a lot of help here in Buffalo.
Yeah, you need help.
Part of it was going to charity. So therefore the news, the newspaper, all the news channels, AM Buffalo, all the radio stations, they were clamoring for us because part of it was for charity.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we had help drawing huge numbers like that. But then there were plenty of other shows where we didn't have that help, and we drew over 1,000.
What's the best way that you found to draw people to your show?
Back then, it was before.
Yeah, it was before like Facebook and everything was really
before algorithms. Yeah, it was before algorithms. Really, just grassroots, spreading the word.
It's always been a problem, and it will always be a problem. Is about getting known, getting heard, and people realizing that you're there. It's the problems with. I mean, they teach courses at this for sport management classes. It's minor league baseball. That's the whole point, is to have gimmicks, have people come and learn that you're there, so you come and spend some money. They do it 5 days a week. We do it once a month, and it's still hard just to get people to know that we are around.
What would you find is the general cost of actually putting on a show in the arena that you're able to?
New York's different than Florida.
Yes, it's very different. Every state is different. We have a lot of regulations and needs. So New York State was one of the last states to allow MMA to be legalized. I know that was the cherry on top for Dana White, was to have a show at Madison Square Garden. So the government here in New York State, the legislature and the Senate, they finally got a bill that passed it. Unfortunately, it's also under the guise of the New York State Athletic Commission. So that means everything that Dana White needs to do to run a show at a UFC show at Madison Square Garden, I have to do at a local high school gym.
Oh, wow.
I need a doctor. I need an ambulance. I need fight insurance. I need the promotion or the promoter's license and insurance on top of that. So it's already, before you even get a date, before you sign wrestlers, it's already a couple $1,000s already there.
Now, Matt, take those shows that you've seen and add all those expenses in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
You're losing money every single time, just about, unless you do it smart. You either got to do it huge or do it smart. I liked huge. Jacob likes smart.
It is hard. It is hard because you'd also, there is, let's see, so in our area, in the Western New York area, we have about 4 other wrestling promotions. And then starting an hour away, there's 3 or 4 more. It's pretty condensed, pretty saturated. So we don't really want to undercut people. We want everybody to make money, because we still need promotions for our students to work. So we have to try and find what is the minimum amount of money people are willing to spend. We can't charge $50 for a ticket. We need that $25, $30, because the economy is tough now. There's not that much money in the area. So trying to come with a business sense with that, that's when you have to try and get more people in the door so you can make a profit and you can continue with other shows. So it's a process. It's a headache, but I love it.
Do you ever do any cross promotion with some of the other promotions that are there in the area?
Not really. Off the top of my head, I can't see a reason why it would be a win-win for everybody. Now, we all know each other. We're all friends with each other and whatnot. There is some petty high school drama wherever you go, no matter what business. I'm way above that, so it doesn't
I bet you know where
affect
it
me.
comes from too. I bet you still come from the same place it came from back when I was around.
I don't know, because I don't put my ear to the ground for that. I just talk business with everybody. I still talk to everybody on a weekly basis, all the other promoters and whatnot. But as for storylines, everyone's kind of in their own lane. They're very happy, and everyone, here's the key point, everyone has been successful in what they're doing. So no need to change what's broken.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
What was some of the craziest things that you've ever seen running this promotion?
Crazy stuff. It's crazy to me, not necessarily other people, but it's just all the things that you need to put in order for a show to happen. Now, if one domino falls, then screws everything up. Like not having an ambulance arrive on time, you got to postpone the show. It's little stupid stuff like that. But as for the performance of these wrestlers, everyone that I've worked with has gone above and beyond for what they are asked for, because they're hungry, they got the urge, they want to learn, and they also want to entertain. But they are fantastic people. Nothing crazy, which I know I'll probably shoot myself in the foot and something bad is going to happen next show, but we'll see.
Yeah, okay. So who were...
We did a lot of looking for when we did the shows at Riverworks, so Jacob was hidden from a lot of the craziness. I got to see that firsthand.
I wasn't even booked on our own shows. Funny.
What's that?
I wasn't even booked on our own shows.
No, you
Actually, this
The
is probably
doctor?
what. Well, yeah, but this is probably what caused me to actually get more into the behind the scenes. Was we had this show at the Woodlawn State Park, and I wasn't booked, even though we're the partners. I wasn't booked for that show. But what I did do was run concessions, and I made probably 10 times the amount of money of the highest paid wrestler on that show.
Oh
Just
yeah,
from selling hot dogs, I think I made almost. It was $600-700.
yeah,
That's
that's
So
common.
yep, learning the business aspect from that, coming over into the finances, that probably kind of kick started to where I am now.
yeah.
Yeah. One of the wrestlers that I frequently see at the ALW, and he also wrestles in many different promotions as well. Wrestles under the name Ryzen, and he has, I'm going to plug his book right now. He's got this book all about being an in-demand indie, and he is a very popular independent wrestler. And I've read this book, and what you just said, he also talks about how the concessions will make you more money than the actual wrestling fee itself. So, if you're an aspiring wrestler, scan that QR code. You'll help him out. You'll help us out. You'll help out independent wrestling in general. And that is my shameless plug for the night. So I'll just make that go away. But yeah, so he did talk about that in his book, which is where this segue is coming from. And that if you can get a good sized table, you got your merch out there, and you're friendly, you're personable, you're professional, you're going to make some additional money on your sales. You're going to sell T-shirts, you're going to sell posters, you're going to sell pictures, and he did make a point that it is often much more than what you get from your wrestling appearance fee from the promotion.
Yeah, it can be very lucrative if you know what you're doing and you have a plan and you stick to it. You can make a good amount of money. Maybe not enough to live off of, in the leagues that we're in, but if you work up to the higher levels, you can definitely make a living.
It's definitely not enough to live on. He works full time in marketing in Orlando, so
Even during my career, when I wrestled, when it was my job to wrestle, it wasn't a great living.
no, it's
It's
not.
what I did for a living, but I wasn't making a ton of money.
No.
I just didn't have as much responsibility. I didn't have kids at the time.
Those are the days.
I was making a living, but it wasn't like a huge living until I got to Europe. And I think, what was that, 2 years between WWE and wrestling overseas? In 2 years, I made what I would make at a day job as a wrestler, but I was gone a lot. So
Whereabouts in Europe did you spend most of your time?
most of it, England mostly, a lot in Austria, all those countries in between. Once you're over there, you can get booked in any country. They just won't fly you from here in the United States. But if you're in England, you'll get promoters from Italy, Germany, everywhere. They want to just fly you in willingly.
Yeah,
We're
we
in
have one of our former
Thailand.
students, Isaiah Prince. He is going to be based in Germany for 2 weeks, starting the end of September, I believe.
Who is?
Isaiah Prince, one of our students.
Not familiar. Okay, you'll have to bring me up to speed on the new guys.
You will like him. He is a big 6'3" powerhouse. He's a lariat kind of guy.
Well, the next time we go out for chicken wings, you got to show me some of these new guys and let me experience them for myself.
Definitely.
For those of you not in the Buffalo area, chicken wings are what we call buffalo wings. People born and raised in Buffalo don't call them buffalo wings. They call them chicken
And we don't
wings.
use ranch. No ranch.
No.
You want to find yourself hurt quick? Go to a Buffalo restaurant, and when you order wings, ask for ranch.
Ask for ranch. Yeah, that's bad.
You'll get lynched.
I used to have a small hot dog stand at our local dirt mall at the flea market, and one of our products was wings. The cook that I had there was also my friend from Buffalo, and he used to get visibly upset when people would order ranch at their wings. Like he would get mad at the customer.
Blasphemy.
There was one guy we had in from Michigan, Aram Alam. Do you remember when we went to Duff's afterwards? It was Aaron, two well-known indie guys out of Michigan were in town for us, and we went to Duff's to get wings afterwards, and they ordered ranch, and Jacob and I just busted out laughing hysterically, and they were so confused, but we were laughing uncontrollably, and they were so confused as to why we were laughing. They didn't understand. Like, you just got to know, I guess. We probably should send out a handbook before we bring guys in from out of town. There should be some sort of pamphlet.
What to expect in the Western New York area?
Yeah,
Do a
right.
whole section of ranch dressing in chicken wings.
Take them to Mighty Taco.
We should have a checklist of where we take people.
Yeah, Mighty is always one of my favorites.
My taco's all right. It's good.
I had a band stay over at my house one night. It was the band Total Chaos. It was their 25th anniversary tour. They just needed a place to crash. I told them, come to my house. Actually, the guitar player is friends with Frankie Kazarian. I had a couple Mark belts on my mantle, and he was asking me about this. He's like, oh, you might know one of my friends. You know, he's a bass player in my cover band. His name is Frankie Kazarian. I'm like, yeah, we all know who he is.
Yeah.
Big guy. So anyways, it was a Thursday night, midnight. A lot of pizza places closed, so I just found a place, got them pizza, and they were like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just run-of-the-mill Thursday night pizza. It's not even the best of the best, but it by far is superior than any
You're
other
from out of
pizza
town,
pizza
it is.
Yeah. Buffalo does ruin pizza for everybody else. I mean, they come into Buffalo, they eat the pizza there. Go anywhere else, it sucks.
You're ruined.
It's so bad. Like here in Central Florida, there's some places that look okay, like Detroit based. We don't have any Buffalo style. Like maybe there's a Casa de Pizza. I think the owner of Casa de Pizza.
And Sarasota, there's a Casa de Pizza.
Yeah, like the owner moved down here, or Snowbirds here, or
Yeah,
something.
if you go in there and you answer a secret question about Buffalo, they will bring out the secret Costanza rolls from the back.
No shit. Is that
Yes.
right? Oh, right.
I don't know if I'm blowing the whole. I think I just ruined kayfabe for them. But I'm not going to tell you what the question is. So there you go.
That's okay.
But,
I can actually find Costanza's rolls.
My brother-in-law's place is in Lakeland. I don't know how far that is from you.
Lakeland, it's about an hour and a half.
All right. Well, that's worth the food. I mean, the guy's packed all the time.
Yeah,
So
I drive that every single day. I commute into Orlando. It's an hour and 15 minutes to an hour.
And you can just stop at
30
that
minutes,
716 pizza joint. Shameless free plug.
Definitely.
Pick up your pizza, your wings. They have Paula's Donuts that they have shipped in. Rudy's Blue. Oh yeah, he's got like a whole store.
So now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go tell my wife that 716 Pizza in Lakeland has Paula's Donuts, and she is going to break her diet and make us all go there next weekend.
Well, then don't tell her. I wouldn't tell her.
Well, I think the key is to let the ALW guys know. Introduce them to Buffalo food. Tell them, hey, we have a bunch of, little indie federations up there. Come up and get some work, get noticed, get seen. And
Do a little back and forth ski.
National. Yep. And not just regional, but national.
They're all going to put on so much weight, though.
That's fine. We have a super heavyweight division.
Yeah, dude. We were in Buffalo back in November for a Bills game, and we made it a point to go to Paula's Donuts. It's amazing. There's nothing like it outside of Buffalo. It's like Tim Hortons is okay, but Paula's just better than anything you've seen down here. The closest thing that we have is maybe Voodoo Donuts, and they're in Universal Studios. I don't know, maybe. They're not that great.
Voodoo's, they're Portland, right?
I think they're based out of Portland, yeah. That sounds right. Their claim to fame is that they have like a voodoo aesthetic in a pink box. It's, they got like a little...
It would be the donut that Roddy Piper would eat.
Yeah, probably. They've got like they got like a voodoo doll donut with little pretzel sticks in it for the pins. That's their gimmick. They're not great. I mean, the donuts are big like Paula's, but not as good.
That's just size is not just the only gimmick. They actually have to taste good too.
Yeah, and Paula's donuts are huge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now, since we got Jacob here, since this podcast, there are several people that do listen. Somebody I know was listening to one of the shows on YouTube and asked me about starting a promotion in Florida. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm here in Buffalo at the moment. Matt's still far too new to do anything like that. But luckily now, Matt, you've met Jacob, whichever corner he's in. He's an excellent resource because he will tell you how to do it smart. I will help you do it big, glamorous, but I'm here, Jacob will help you do it smart, and it's building up your resources so that if the day ever comes where you do want to make that jump, you have people around you that are there to help.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
And there's no saying that I won't be in Florida eventually.
You got to get down to Florida. It's so much fun, man. There's so much to do. There's the food sucks, but
I just want a flea market all year round
We
and
could do
find
that.
GI Joes.
we do that. What I should do is I should take pictures of the dirt mall here in the area and send those over to you just to see if
Yes,
there's
and-
anything that you would want.
Jacob has collectibles behind him as well, if I see that correctly. What do you got there, Jacob?
What do you got there?
Ooh, is that the one with the rope?
Yes.
Which one is that?
Yeah. I need the purple one though. I need the
Yeah,
purple one.
Still, it's a good one to have.
Which one is that?
That's the heart. I'm
That's a New Jack
the
figure.
new Jack.
Oh, New Jack. Okay.
I've got them. It's on card. I'm probably 8 or so away from the complete collection. So it's
So in other words, we could do
yeah,
some
I got
crazy
some
flea
comic
market.
books.
It's crazy that you have
Yeah.
ECW figures in the package still.
It's
Those have to be exceedingly rare.
They are, because I remember when I was a kid, I was the one playing with them. I was the one ripping them open, taking them off of $5 pegs over at
I was
KB
playing with them when I was
Toys.
22.
Yes. I still have the ring, and it's in my china cabinet. It is
Oh.
displayed.
Lucky.
Because
Which
I want
one?
everyone to see. But also, the ECW, the ring, actually.
Oh, the ring. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
That's
ECW
really hard
was
to find now too.
it was so esoteric back in the late 90s too. So few of us watched it. I think it only aired in like the Northeast too. Didn't it air out of like Allentown, Pennsylvania?
It moved around eventually.
Yeah.
It aired out of
It's
Philadelphia.
around, but Florida was Philadelphia, New York City, and then Florida was really out of the region that they really went to. Kissimmee,
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale area, they had TV running. But yeah, that's the wrestling I grew up on as a teenager, and that's kind of how I got here where I am now, because ECW was big in Buffalo. Burt
Mhm.
Flickinger Center, we had some
Yeah, it
pay-per-views,
was.
big shows.
The night I
It
met
was
Matt,
fantastic.
I left ECW. I was with ECW, left ECW's arena, and ended up at Matt's house to visit his sister.
Yep. They were dating
So
at the
it was
time.
the very night that I was with ECW. It was the same night I met you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like WWF. Really wasn't really big into it. No, I was very casual. So once ECW went out of business, I stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 10, 20 years later, my best friend up in Toronto, he's like, hey, I got front row tickets for ROH. Ring of Honor's coming to town, and they have a bunch of ECW guys. Come on, take a look. I'm like, okay, let's go. So we have front row seats. Now, mind you, I said I was 6'6". You stand up and clap whenever they come to the ring. I'm seeing everybody like come up to here. Now I have that motto of like, all right, if you can do it, I can do it. So it was that moment, watching the show, getting back into wrestling, seeing the ECW guys that I grew up with, where like, hey, let's try and get into wrestling. And that's when I met Blackjack. I went to a couple indie shows, found out he was a trainer in wrestling school, and then fast forward to today, I did the bumps and whatnot, did that, and ran for a promotion. So it was these guys that I grew up with that led me to create a promotion.
And all those guys, I mean, I wrestled several of them. I was good friends with Sabu and Balls Mahoney. After everything closed, a lot of guys went to WCW, then that closed. A lot of guys went to WWE. The ones that didn't went to the AWWL in Michigan. So there was me, Sabu, Balls Mahoney, Kevin Sullivan, Crowbar, Disco Inferno, and me in there. And that's where I got, years later, I got more of a lesson than I did early in my wrestling career.
Mhm.
It was by knowing those guys.
So Yeah, one of the things to become a successful promoter is it's really hard to tell, all right, like you said before, are you a mark with money or are you an actual fan? Now, this is something that I grew up with. And then when it came to the promoter side, I started going to shows and seeing what didn't
Well,
work.
you
But
were
if you're
broken
just
in
going to
too.
be a mark, yeah, if you're going to try and just go in and make a quick buck, it ain't going to happen. It's
Right.
not going to work. If you're going to come in with your tax refund check and think you can be the next Vince McMahon, it's not going to happen. I've seen it happen way too many times where people come in, come out, and they never run again.
I have taken advantage of so many of those guys. I mean, I can't tell you how many had no idea that my going rate was maybe $150. And I could tell that they were just a mark with money or they got a tax refund and they're a fan, they want to put on their own show. It's like, what do you charge? I'm like, 1,500. They're like, oh, that's not, come on in. I mean, honestly, I've probably done that 50 times, 60 times. It's not like
Nice.
one or two. You could smell them out, and they were
Now,
always there, especially when we had TV in Michigan.
yeah,
They thought I was a huge TV star. They didn't know I was on 12 affiliates.
Wow,
So they're
charge
like,
ten
you
times,
can't feel
charge
like
10 times the
because-
rate. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, really, when it comes down to promotion, the cream rises to the top. You can have your biggest enemies start one, but you don't even have to get involved because failures are going to fail. Cream rises to the top, and the people who are successful know the business, they love the business, they grew up with the business.
Yeah.
Because
If
after
you're-
all, it is a business.
But if you ask anybody who has achieved any sort of success, I heard this statement from, I think it was Martin Short, the actor. Fame and success are 98% failure. Because for the two movies that he had that he considered a hit and made him a lot of money, he made 90 films that sucked.
Yeah.
And that it's any form of entertainment, or really almost anywhere in life.
Or business.
You're not
really.
going to get, you're not just going to walk in and be Vince McMahon tomorrow. How many failures did Vince McMahon have?
Oh, I would bet at least 10.
Did you know he promoted Evel Knievel's Snake River Canyon jump?
No.
The thing didn't even go right. Oh yeah, he had all his main money sunk into that.
Yeah, I would think
But-
that the when you first
But
started
he
the
hit with
promotion.
WrestleMania, and WrestleMania put him on a path.
It did. Yeah.
So yeah, you
WrestleMania.
can't go into anything expecting not to fail.
No, and I would
Failing's part of it.
I would expect that even starting a promotion, you can't expect to make a profit coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky if you
And
break
you
even.
expect to make every decision the right one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't make money
You don't
off
make
of it. I break even every single show, and I could stop, but something inside of me tells me I can't. It is like The Godfather. You try to get out, but it pulls you right back in. It's so freaking addicting. It's awful.
It's a passion
But
project.
I don't make. If I get money for a pizza at the end of the night, I'm happy. But I hope to change that because we introduced new legislation to the New York Senate to try to deregulate. Talking to senators and legislators, they realized, hey, you shouldn't have to do what UFC does. And because one of the things I tell is like, you have a better chance of getting injured if you're in the fight scene in Les Miserables on Broadway than getting hurt in the ring.
Yeah. I mean,
So
most people.
Broadway, yeah, it's entertainment. We should fall under entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of not a lot of grievous injuries. I would imagine that happen.
I've seen quite a few. I've seen quite a few.
Quite a few. Can you count them on two hands?
Yes.
Ooh. Well, you've been
Over how
doing it
many
for
years
so
have
long.
you been doing it?
Oh, you mean like broken necks or deaths?
Yeah, actually.
No, just
Oh,
even stuff.
maybe
like
not two hands.
location.
Well, look at it this way. I probably wrestled 5,000 times. I think maybe I saw 6 or 7 accidents like that. I've seen
Yeah,
thousands
the
of bloody
ratio
noses.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like people who are afraid to fly but will drive to the airport. You have a better chance of getting into a car wreck than an airplane
Yeah,
crash.
for sure.
Exactly.
For
Something as dramatic as that. We're just trying to get people aware, and it looks it should be working. So hopefully sooner or later. But the whole point, one of the reasons why I did introduce this bills was to bring down ticket prices. I really want wrestling is for everybody. Now, everybody can't be a wrestler, but wrestling is for everybody. So if I could bring that ticket down $25 to 15 and still make a profit,
Get more
win
people,
for everybody.
more families. Yeah,
Who did
you'd
you
help the
who did you
families.
submit the legislation to?
It was first under Senator Tim Kennedy, but he actually became a congressman. And apparently, there's a rule: is if you have legislation pending and you go to Congress or a federal level, all that stuff is axed. So we resubmitted it with Senator Art from North Tonawanda, and it's been signed by a couple other legislatures and senators as well, Oriel, I believe. So it's in committee. So hopefully one of these days it will come to the floor and pass and make wrestling, at least in New York State, culturally relevant again. We've been in the golden age of wrestling, of indie wrestling for a while, and New York State has fallen behind. That's why I say Orlando is a fantastic spot,
It is.
Tampa, Central Florida in general, because you don't have the regulation that we do. So everyone is thriving down there. We hope to make New York thrive again.
Jacob, is there any way that we could help you with your cause? Like, is there a petition we could put out there to have signed? I know we're still building followers here, but my toy business has a decent amount of followers. I can put something out there. Is there anything that we can do to help you get that achieved? Because, I mean, everything would be much better. When I first started wrestling in New York State, I had a wrestling license I had to apply for.
Yeah.
What'd you have to do?
And we won't
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
Luckily, it's
test to
changed a
renew it.
little bit, but not enough. But that is definitely one thing I'll look into, and hopefully let you and the viewers know how you can help.
Oh yeah, let me know. Definitely. I'm definitely on board to see if there's some way I can help you get that done. Matt knows a lot of politicians down in Florida. Maybe they know politicians in New York.
Well, I know a few local politicians. The biggest big shot I know is probably Brian Hodgers, but he's a state rep. But that's just because I knew him before he became a politician.
Oh, all right. Well, call him up. Jacob needs the help. We gotta get wrestling back to normal. Although the big problem when it comes to deregulating a lot of things, I agree with what you say, Jacob, about how we can't be treated the same way that Vince gets treated when he comes in, or what he's not even there anymore. Whatever company it is that comes in, or Dana White, or a professional. Yeah. We at the Walleye Club or at the high school, we should not have those same requirements. There should be something similar. But the fear of deregulating was always that more, we called them backyarders back in the day. You just have more of them flocking in. Guys that have $50 in a shoestring budget and get their friend from work to wrestle the guy from down the street. And then next thing you know, they're killing towns because if Grapple Pro comes in the next month, the fans might say, oh, we saw wrestling there. It was no good. And you didn't even get there yet. That is a very,
yeah, it will happen. But like I said before, the cream rises to the top. You're going to get the quality of not only wrestlers, but you'll want wrestlers who will work for certain promotions. Like, yes, we don't need a doctor, but if we have a doctor on board, maybe you to come work for us rather than the backyarder who just created their own, duct tape ring.
Their own hole somewhere in South Buffalo, yeah.
It's made out of PVC piping and duct tape.
Right.
Gotcha. No, I agree with your cause, and I would love to help you any way I could.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a following yet, but I figure if we just, keep to it, stick to it, within a year maybe, we'll have at least 1,000.
We have potentially 10 signatures for
potentially 10.
To get one together.
Now, I'm not a New Yorker anymore, so
12, including us.
Yeah, although I did transition from New Yorker to Floridian.
So, Jay, what's your best? Now, you did get to wrestle. You were broken into wrestling properly. You weren't just brought in, taught a bump, and sent out in the ring. I know that for a fact because I was there. I wouldn't let you just do that. You are a professional wrestling. You're a professional wrestler. You're a professional wrestling promoter. Of the time of you wrestling, what is your favorite moment? And then I'm going to tell everybody my favorite moment about you. But go ahead, tell me what your favorite moment was about being a wrestler.
So it was fun. I did like bumping on a boxing ring. I can tell you that. Probably it was. I want to say it was easy at first, but when you get into a feud with a 75-year-old man, that kind of makes it easier too. So that was fun, beating up Uncle Pawpaw. But
I just saw him
probably,
recently.
yeah, he comes to the Grapple Pro as well when
Yeah.
he's not snowbirding in Myrtle Beach. But as far as in ring, probably favorite memory of that was the Rumble with Ethan Page. Took a stunner from him, then eliminated myself. That was fun. Waiting out.
You were so good at it too. Yeah, you played that goofy heel so
But
well.
most of the fun stuff was actually out of the ring. You know, hanging out at the hotel with the Nasty Boys.
You thought that was fun?
Shooting the shit.
Oh, yeah. A fight almost broke out.
I know, because somebody took too many pills.
Yes.
I'm not going to say who.
Brian Knobs. So the fight almost broke out, right?
Yeah.
So now you got me and you got Rex Atkins, and he's trying to fight us, and we're just like, dude, stop it. You're all fucked up. Just knock it off. And now Knobs, not that tough. He's never known for being tough. Sags, however, the toughest man alive. So one of the toughest.
He's the brains of the operation.
Oh yeah, he's tough. So as this is happening, Rex Atkins and Brian Knobs are about nose to nose, and Rex Atkins in defense of me, because for some reason he was aiming his anger at me for some reason, and Rex Atkins is very protective of me. Thank God. He got right nose to nose with Knobs. So I'm thinking, wait a minute. Shane Douglas ran as soon as this started. He ran so fast to get out there. So then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh no, Sags is here. If Rex clocks Knobs, I'm stuck dealing with Sags, and I don't want to, because I love him and he's tough. So I look to see where Sags is in this situation, and there's Jacob, drunk as Sags is, singing Polish folk songs on the couch at the Adams Mark Hotel. Thank God he had him out of that situation.
His little Polish flag that he was.
Oh yeah, you guys were singing songs. I didn't know what you were talking about, but it worked.
It was just a lot of the fraternity of pro wrestling. Something that not the people and the fans don't really experience. That's probably one of the coolest things about it.
By far. Do you remember when we were at Riverworks and those drunken fans? One of them was like the biggest Blackjack Phoenix fan ever, and they wanted a picture. And you were sitting next to me. We were eating dinner, and the lady looks at you. She goes, "Can you get a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And she looks at you and she goes, "Get out of the way." So now we're both laughing because like we're eating dinner, like our food's there, and we're sitting next to each other at a bar. And she goes, My husband's your biggest fan. It's his birthday. Can he please have a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." She looks at Jacob, dead serious. She goes, "Get out of the way." She wants to move. So her husband, "I'm going to get a picture." And we just laughed hysterically, took the picture, and then we went back on to dinner.
I was hoping that happened, but I got to work up to it. So hopefully, maybe next Vince McMahon, whatever, I'll be known as that guy. Which actually happened the other day. In my neighborhood, I live in Kaisertown, right on the Chihuahua border. I'm walking my dog, and I'm over a couple streets down, and I do have my Grapple Pro hoodie. And a guy from across the street, he yells at me, "Hey, did he ever find his tooth?" I'm like, "What?" Now there's some shady characters in our neighborhood. Or something. I'm like, "Did that guy have his tooth?" I'm like, "No, what happened?" He's like, "I was at the Grapple Pro show in Batavia, and a guy lost his tooth." Now I'm looking. I wasn't at that show, but I'm thinking it's it's the gum gimmick that you have.
I use spit. Yeah, the white spit.
Yeah, people think it's tooth.
Oh, kayfabe Matt, he doesn't know that yet.
No, I don't know this trick.
Yeah,
I never met this guy in my life, so I'm like, okay, we're growing. It's organic. People are starting to hear about it. So maybe one day somebody will ask for my picture at a bar and tell whoever's next to me to get lost.
Maybe it'll be me, old broken down me, eating chicken wings. I'll get lost for you. I don't care. I owe you one. But yeah, no, we'd have a laugh about that. So, as you know, I'm still recovering from surgery, and I'm about to turn into a pumpkin shortly. I have to walk every 40 to 60 minutes. I have to move around.
Yeah.
So we are getting to that, at least for the next couple episodes.
Well, yeah.
But I'd love to have Jacob back if he's willing. Matt, if you're willing.
Of course.
I'd love to have him back anytime.
This is fun.
It was great.
I'll try to come up with more memories and not both my history as well as the current product, Apple Pro.
Well, Paw wants to get together for chicken wings as soon as I can last more than a half hour in the car. Once I could make a trip out towards you guys, we are due for wings. But we'll start planning things out. Saying just let us know anything we could do. We could promote to our 10 people to get 10 more people at your show potentially. And we can help you with your petition, with politics. That's the guy right there. He knows a lot of petitions.
We'll try.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can also bring on our booker, because one of the things to find out how to be successful, I kind of find out if you split it in two, you don't want to take too much on yourself. So I'm Todd Gordon, and we got Mikey every night is Paul Heyman. So I take care of the business side. He takes care of the front of office side. So any other business questions, I'm Todd Gordon. He wasn't the very sexy W figure, but I like to play that role. So hopefully I can enlighten some people from that aspect too.
Absolutely. Well, this was fun. We'll definitely have you back on. I mean, it'd be cool if you were a regular on the show. That'd be great. I mean,
definitely. I want to show him some of the stuff from Florida one of these times.
Oh, for sure.
And I want to get his opinion on the stuff that's going on in Florida right now.
Oh yeah, there's also an event coming up on July 25th, I want to say. And I just got a Insta360 camera. It's a 360 camera, the X3. I'm going to ask the owner if I could put it somewhere in that in the arena so I can get a really good video. He may or may not let me. I'm not intending to share the video with him or anything, but I'm gonna see if I can grab it for myself.
What is that camera called for the television? What's that called, Matt? Do you remember?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
What's that fixed camera called that usually
the hard cam?
Very good. You're learning.
Yeah.
He's learning, Jacob. You just need to have to tell
I saw that episode.
We got to do this slow.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But yeah,
guys, thank you.
It was a great show. I'm gonna turn on the laser lights again.
Turn them on. Turn them on. See, Jacob, you need those for the Walleye Club.
There you go.
I'll do a disco gimmick once my knee heals.
At some point, my original idea was to put these little computer generated people in there for the number of subscribers we had. And at the time, we only had 2 when I made them, and then it jumped to 9. I just haven't had time to put more in. Yeah, I just haven't had time. But I'm going to fill up these seats.
Fill them up. Fill them up, Matthew.
Absolutely.
We'll get them filled. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Jacob, thank you. I will talk to you soon. And Matt, I will see you next week, good sir.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining, both of you. Are we off? Can I swear?
Let's ride.